What happens in Vegas definitely should not stay in Vegas because this regional was so freaking good. Welcome everybody to another Pokemon VGC video. It's Pikachu, and today we're going to be looking at the Las Vegas Regional that just happened this past weekend, and we're going to be talking about the top 4 teams and of course the top usage Pokemon as well, just to show how this regional kind of ended up. Now, this regional was absolutely insane. This was probably one of the best regionals that we've had in a very long time. This finals game was unbelievable. Like, I've not seen a finals game like this in a very long time, and it was so like sitting at the forward of my chair like, what's gonna happen? But yeah, if you guys want to see any game of this past weekend, I would definitely recommend watching this finals game. It was so insane. But of course, we're going to be talking about the top 4 teams going through, and we're going to be starting off with the first top 4 done by Carson Dennis, which is a very nice standard, you know, Goldengo, Dragonite, Ursaluna team. We've seen this around before. It's nothing quite special, but a few little unique stuff here and there. So we're going to start off with the Whimsy, going into the Covert Cloak, going into Terrafire, Tailwind, Moonblast, Encore, Light Screen. Nice to see Whimsy back. We've not seen Whimsy come around in a very long time, so it's nice to see Whimsy back. Actually, I'm kind of enjoying this. Good job, Whimsy. We're showing up in top 4. Very nice. We have the Incineroar with the Clear Amulet going into Terra Water, Knockoff, Flare Blitz, Protect, and Fake Out. Again, another spin on Incineroar here. We're normally used to seeing, you know, things like Terra Bug or Terra Ghost, having Parting Shot, or, you know, things with safety goggles, or sometimes even Assault Vest on Incineroar. But the Clear Amulet is really useful because then it also becomes quite an offensive piece, and as we're seeing here, it does fit that offensive piece. So yeah, Clear Amulet from other Incineroar means that, you know, we don't get hit by Intimidate, so we can just keep hitting these really hard knockoffs, these really hard Flare Blitzes, and just kind of have that nice fire and dark type coverage that we really need for this team. Next up is the Goldengo with the Life Orb, Terra Water, make it rain, Shadow Ball, protect, nice block, can't really complain, same standard Goldengo set here. We have the Dragonite with the loaded dice going into Terra Steel, protect, Ice Spinner, Scale Shot, and Extreme Speed. So again, we're steering away now from the Haze set because again, Archaludon's not really popped up much. I think Archaludon did not pop up in the top 4. I don't know if it didn't even pop up in the top 8. We'll have to double check that. I've not seen the results fully as of yet. I've just seen top 4. But yeah, we've not seen a lot of Archaludon lately. So Archaludon's kind of like shifting a bit more down. This is why Haze was a lot more prevalent. Of course, there was also Dondozo, but we've not seen Dondozo that much really since, like, you know, the start of Reg H. We've not seen Dondozo pop up. I think we saw Dondozo once, and that was literally it. So we've not seen Dondozo at all. So again, Haze not really something that we're looking at for the forefront. So you can kind of take Haze out and kind of give Dragonite a lot more of a moveset here. And because of course Whimsy already has the Tailwind, you don't need to give Dragonite Tailwind. So you've got a lot more offensive coverage here for Dragonite, which I think is really cool. We have the Annihilate with the Focus Sash going into Terrafire, Close Combat, Rage Fist, Final Gambit, and Coaching. Not too bad for Annihilate here. Kind of covers all bases. If you want them gone like immediately, you've got Final Gambit. If you want to boost up, you know, your Dragonites or your Incineroars, you've got Coaching, or your Ursalunas, which we'll get to in a second. And then Close Combat and Rage Fist is just really good stab coverage for Annihilate anyway. And Focus Sash means that you have to, you know, focus more than once on Annihilate, which I think is really cool. And then finally is the Ursaluna with the Flame Orb going into Terra Fairy, Facade, Headlong, Rush, Earthquake, and Protect. So again, we're seeing Ursaluna coming out of Trick Room a lot more in this tourney, I think. But this was very interesting. Normally we're used to seeing, you know, this form of Ursaluna inside of Trick Room. This has been the Ursaluna that we've been used to seeing in Trick Room, but this one doesn't stay in Trick Room. This is quite strange. So yeah, it just kind of goes through a Tailwind. So it's a faster bear than usual, which is, you know, something that no one really expects, no one really plans for. So it's a nice way to catch everybody out. I think Fast Bear does have a little bit of a niche, but you know what, it did top 4, so you know, I can't complain. It did very well. Next up is a Sun team done by Zachary Carlson, another top 4 team. So this features, of course, things like Torkoal, Hisuian Typhlosion, etc. So we're going to start off with the Hisuian Typhlosion with the Choice Scarf, with the Terrafire, Eruption, Heat Wave, Shadow Ball, Overheat. Nice way to just get damage out straight out of the gate here. Hisuian Typhlosion being, you know, somewhat fast already, forcing you to basically throw up a Tailwind on a Prankstar like Whimsy, as we saw before, that, you know, should be able to just blow through the game and just, you know, try and outspeed Typhlosion, but because not a lot of Pokemon can, and a lot of Pokemon that do can't really one-shot Typhlosion like that. You've got things like Unburn and Sneasler, but that doesn't really cover Typhlosion. You can potentially get it with a Diaclaw or a Close Combat, but if it doesn't Terra, then that's just a waste of a move. So yeah, it's very it's a unique way to kind of fake out other mons that are faster than Hisuian Typhlosion, because a lot that are faster can one-shot it, but it has to be certain conditions, things like, you know, it has to go Terra, can't go Terra, things like that. So it's not bad. It's not that bad. In terms of things like, things like Sucker Punch, which of course is very, very prevalent as well, and things like Kingambit, there is the PORYGON, who also carries the Throat Spray, going to Terrifier, Hyper Voice, Psychic, Trick Room, Protect. So this way it helps not only Torkoal get set up in Trick Room, but it also saves Hisuian and Typhlosion from getting hit with things like Sucker Punch or Aqua Jet, two very big moves that it just doesn't want to get hit by. So it's a very unique way to kind of, keep Hisuian and Typhlosion safe, as well as prepping Torkoal up for when you need it to. We have the Annihilate with the safety goggles going into Terra Water, Close Combat, Rage Fist, Final Gambit, Taunt. More or less the same as we just saw, in the last team, but swapping out coaching for Taunt because you're not really using physical attackers as much here. The physical attackers are a lot more of a supportive piece. You've got special attackers that, Hisuian, Typhlosion, and Torkoal, they're your main kind of sweepers here. So coaching won't really do much for them, so Taunt is a lot more better. So in case you're running a non-Trick Room variant of the team and they've got Trick Room, you can kind of do Taunt, shut it down, and kind of get moving. You've got a lot of things going for you here, and the fact that you're a Ghost type as well means that you can kind of get taunts running like almost immediately, unless of course there is another Prankster taunt user, but again, PORYGON's there to protect you. We have Torkoal with the Charcoal going into Terrifier, Eruption, Weather Ball, Helping Hand, Protect. A lot of Terrifier mons on this team, But yeah, Eruption, just like what we said before, Torkoal is that Trick Room sweeper. He's just that guy. Like, Torkoal's just great. Amazing Trick Room Pokemon, amazing damage output, and Helping Hand as well to cover the faster options in case Torkoal isn't in Trick Room, but it's still not just gonna, it's not gonna sit there on the field and do nothing. It can at least transform itself into a supportive piece for things like Typhlosion or Annihilate or Lilligant or Incineroar. Speaking of, we have this Hisuian Lilligant with the Focus Sash going into Terra Ghost with that Chlorophyll ability, Close Combat, Solar Blade, Sleep Powder after you, standard Lilligant scent here, can't really complain, and again, it's very dominant in the sun. It is very, very destructive in the sun, honestly. After you being able to get Torkoal running insanely quickly, after you Trick Room is a really good combination to get Trick Room up quickly, so Furgraph doesn't drop to, things like a Kotal Cleave on Kingambit or a knockoff on Incineroar. It's just a really nice way to pick up things like immediately. And of course, Sleep Powder as like a pseudo spore, not as accurate, but still gets the job done when you need it to. So yeah, not too bad. I can't really complain with Lilligant. This was pretty solid. And finally is the Incineroar with the Killer Amulet again, going into Terra Grass, Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Close Combat, and Fake Out. I've never seen an Incineroar use Close Combat in official tournaments, and yet alone reaching top 4. So this was absolutely insane to see. Like, this was insane to see. I'm assuming it's like a countermeasure to get rid of things like other Incineroar, because again, Close Combat might not be able to get rid of Incineroar because you might not want to put in Lilligant straight away. So that way you've got an Incineroar that not only counters other Incineroar, but it's also really good when you have the sun come up, and because you have Close Combat here, it takes out other Incineroar because you're not expecting that. And if Incineroar wants to go Terra, like Terra Grass, or things like Terra Water or Terra Ghost, you have all these other Pokemon here that are just ready and waiting to just hit Incineroar outright and just do really, really good damage to it. So before we get into the top 2 teams, I just want to say, guys, if you like this type of content, let me know by leaving a like down below, maybe hitting that subscribe button. Helps me out a ton. We cover every regional and every international here on the channel and do formats just exactly like this one. So again, if you guys want to catch up on any single regional that you might not have caught on the weekend prior, let me know by leaving a like down below and hitting that subscribe button, and also maybe hitting that bell as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. So going into the top 2 teams, oh my god, guys, as I said at the beginning of the video, this game was insane. Game 3, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to say it went to a game 3. I'm not going to spoil how this ended, but like, you could not make this up. The way that this game ended, you could not make this up. It was the most insane thing. Like, the stars had to align for this game. It was insane. But yeah, if you're going to watch any game of Vegas, this is that game. This is 100% that game. But of course, yes, we have to talk about the number 2 team first, done by Zachary Weed. Major condolences on the loss as well. It was so unfortunate, but you know what? The game's the game. He did very good. He did very good. Very early domination. Very, very early domination. He did very, very good. But we have the Sneasler with the Grassy Sea going into Terra Flying, Close Combat, Diaclaw, Acrobatics, and Protect. So we're seeing a lot more coverage here and a lot more different options. Normally, you would see Close Combat and Acrobatics with the Sword Stance, but here we have the Diaclaw to run that RNG premise down with that Poison, Sleep, and Paralysis there. And good, and because Terra Fairy is a really, really good Terra typing to go for in this reg, Diaclaw is just a really nice way to shut everything down, kind of like forcing you to go like, well, if you Terra Fairy, I'm going to hit you with a Diaclaw, and even if you don't die, you're probably going to get a status condition, so yeah, it's not too bad. Like, this is a pretty good set here. You're kind of like sacrificing that extra setup damage for just more explosive damage out the gate, which I can't falter. That's a really good strat. We have the Kingambit with the Black Glasses going into Terrifier, Kotal Cleave, Sucker Punch, Swords Dance, and Protect. There is your good old Incineroar deterrent, because of course, Defiant, any stat drops that happen to Kingambit is just going to boost it. It's completely fine. Like, Kingambit, again, coming up in the top 2. I love Kingambit. I personally love Kingambit. I think Kingambit is a very, very cool Pokemon. just to see it come up in top 2 again is very, very nice. So again, like we spoke about a few weeks ago, Kingambit's not really showed up that much because there's just a lot of Pokemon that shut it down. Like, you know, there's things like Torkoal and Trick Room, both forms of Ursaluna, Incineroar, not to mention Sneasler has come up a lot as well. We've just not seen that much effect from Kingambit, but to see him push all the way through into the top 2 team is great. Like, I think that's really, really good. Like, good job, Kingambit. He did very, very well. We have the Covert Cloak Incineroar with the Terra Grass, Fake Out, Parting Shot, Taunt, and Flare Blitz. Now, this, again, is very, very interesting. So, Covert Cloak is another way to, again, escape other Incineroar and escape other Rillaboom, because most times, a lot of Rillabooms are faster than Incineroar by proxy. So, when you're sitting there on turn 1 and you've got an Incineroar here and your opponent's got a Rillaboom, your Rillaboom is almost always going to get that Fake Out going first. So, Covert Cloak is a nice way to be like, right, you can fake me out. It doesn't matter. I'm going to fake out whoever I want. As long as you don't have a ghost type or another one with Covert Cloak, I am faking out the next Pokemon. You can fake me out. You can slow me down. You can do whatever you want to me. I don't care. I'm still going to hit this one, whether you like it or not. Like, I think it's a really good tech here. Incineroar Covert Cloak is a very, very nice tech here. It's a very good way to kind of, you know, keep up pressure immediately from the jump. So it's a nice way. Yeah, so again, it's just a nice way to keep up pressure immediately from the jump, and it's just it's great. Like, it's a good item for Incineroar, to be honest. We have the Basket Legion with the Choice Scarf going into Terra Fairy, Wave Crash, Flip Turn, Last Respect Aqua Jet. Of course, with that adaptability ability, it goes into a ×2 stab rather than the standard 1.5 that we're, you know, accustomed to. And Terra Fairy is a nice way to get rid of what's it called, dark types as well, because again, things like Sucker Punch is just really, really bad. Of course, Kingambit Kotal Cleave, knock off on Incineroar. You just want a way to kind of stay there and kind of survive nicely. So again, Terra Fairy, really, really good typing to go into, and because a lot of, you know, mons aren't going to do steel type damage into you, you're not really thinking of doing a steel type move into Basket Legion because naturally it just resists it anyway. So again, not too bad. It's not too bad of a Terra type to go for. I think Terra Fairy is a very fantastic type to go for Basket Legion. Very smart play here from Zachary. He did an amazing job on that Terra typing. It was really, really cool. Of course, we have the Rillaboom with the Assault Vest, Terra Fire, Fake Out, Woodhammer, Grassy Glide, High Horsepower, standard Rillaboom set. I'm not really going to go into that. Again, same thing as we said before. And then the Alolan Ninetales with the Life Orb going into Terra Ghost, Moonblast, Blizzard, Protect, and Encore. Now, again, this is normally something that we see carry a Covert Cloak again to get Aurora Veils and things set up, or this is normally something that we see with a Focus Sash, so that way it kind of stays alive for a lot longer, or a Light Clay again for Aurora Veil. But Life Orb is a really, really good item for Alolan Ninetales, because not a lot of people kind of look at its special attack and think, huh, this can do really, really good damage. It is really, really good at damage. It's really consistent in damage. Its special attack is a lot higher than a lot of people think it is. So yeah, adding in a Life Orb into it and making it this really, really good, fast special attacker is just, it's a really, really good strat. In fact, it's the only special attacker on this team. So yeah, you're going to want like massive damage for this too. Like, this thing is absolutely incredible. And finally is the #1 team done by Dylan Salvanera. And oh my gosh, this was a wondrous one. All I'm going to say, guys, is this was the little PORYGON2 that could. This was insane. It was absolutely nuts. But yes, we have the Ursaluna with the Flame Orb going into Terra Ghost, Facade, Headlong Rush, Earthquake Protect, standard Ursaluna set, can't really complain. We have the Incineroar with the Assault Vest, Terra Grass, Flare Blitz, Knock Off, U-Turn, Fake Out. Again, if you're not seeing safety goggles on Incineroar, you would most likely see Terra Grass more than anything else to stay clear of Amoonguss, especially if you're running a Trick Room variant. And Assault Vest is just a really, really nice ability for Incineroar anyway, because again, a lot of people like to stack up that special defense as well. So Assault Vest is just a really, really nice way to kind of not use as much EV points into your special defense. So you can kind of put it in other places, which is, again, really, really cool. We have the Amoonguss with the Citrus Berry going into Terra Water, Pollen Pop Spore, Protect Rage Powder, standard Amoonguss set. I'm not really going to go into that as well. We have the Kilowattrel with the Focus Sash going into Terra Ghost, Thunderbolt, Air Slash, Protect, and Tailwind. This is your Incineroar deterrent. Somehow even worse than Kingambit, because getting a -1 attack means you get a +2 special attack in regards to Kingambit's +1 special attack, because it evens out. So yeah, Kilowattrel getting a mad, crazy +2 boost. This thing becomes a dominant threat like immediately. And because this thing is so fast, and because of Focus Sash, you need to hit this thing more than once. This thing hits so freakishly hard if you get competitive rolling. It is absolutely insane. We have the Goldengo with the Life Orb going into Terra Water, Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, Protect. Standard set for Goldengo. I'm not going to go too much into it. And of course, the star of the show, the absolute MVP, PORYGON2 with the Eviolite, Terra Fighting, Terra Blast, Ice Beam, Trick Room, and Recover. This thing was a demon. PORYGON2, a lot of people have slept on PORYGON2 lately. I've not seen a lot of PORYGON2 come up in, you know, the top usage here. But PORYGON2 is a demon. I'm just saying, I'm throwing this out there. PORYGON2 is an absolute demon. You get this thing in the right position at the right time, this thing is a demon. It's an absolute demon. It's insane. Like, it is crazy how this thing runs. It is absolutely insane how this thing runs. It's, oh guys, I can't tell you how good this match was. And for anyone who's seen this type of video before, you guys know this is my favorite part of the video, the top usage of this past weekend. I shortened my webcam just a little bit just so you guys can see like the other side of this here. But yeah, Incineroar rocking the top spot, 60% on day 2. Incineroar, like, is just going higher and higher and higher in usage. I feel like when we get something, dude, it's the Incineroar, I guess you might call it a problem. Some people might call it a problem. It's the Incineroar deal. Dude, something's got to change with Incineroar, man. This thing is absolutely nuts. 60%? I'm used to seeing 50 or like 55, even 58, but 60% on day 2 is crazy to me. It's absolutely insane to me. This thing is just so good. Rillaboom shortly behind that on 42% on day 2 as well. We've got things like Blood Moon Ursaluna dropping down to 35% on day 2. I think a lot more people, again, much like the Sneasler situation, are getting used to Blood Moon Ursaluna because, again, there's a lot more good typings that can get rid of it. Like, again, your Basculegions, your Sneaslers, your Rillabooms, just a lot of mods that can get rid of it quite nicely. Speaking of Sneasler as well, 27% on day 2, little bit higher in usage compared to day 1, but again, it's so much lower. It is so much lower than what it was originally. Like, this thing was at the top of the tables and now it's like struggling to keep up with top 5. This thing is crazy. In fact, even on day 2, it didn't even keep up on 5th place because Dragonite took it over. Dragonite took it over on day 2 at 28%, which was absolutely insane. But going into the weather mons as well, Pelly not really doing so great. Again, like we said before with Archaludon at the beginning of the video, there's not really been that many Archaludons rolling around here. I think if you're looking at the top, was this top 32? There's 1, 2, 3, 1 in top 16, 1 in top 2 in top 8. Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy. From a mon that had like such a really big archetype that was like dominating the format to a mon that like doesn't even pop up in top 4 anymore, or I say anymore, doesn't pop up in top 4 recently. It's kind of crazy. Like, that is absolutely, that's a crazy thing to think about. That's nuts. But yes, everyone, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little recap. Again, I think this is one of the best regionals that we've had in a very long time. I think we have one more regional before the end of Reg H, and then we are rolling through to Reg F. So we're going to be getting ready for that as well. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to Reg F. I think Reg H is coming close to the end of its lifespan now, considering that this is the second time we're doing Reg H. So yeah, I think this is a nice. I think the next regional is going to be a very nice shutdown to be like, right, we've seen this twice. We've seen the revival. And yeah, we're gonna see a nice ending. I want a nice ending out of the next regional if we get one before the end of Reg H. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one, and I am very excited to see who's pretty much going to end up as the dominant spot of the final Reg H of Scarlet and Violet. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below of this regional. And of course, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later. Okay, bye.